Either they don't reply to it because it's not relevant, or they forget because by the time they got through getting through the volume of crap you sent them, they missed the meaning. They missed what you were trying to say. Hey everybody, Stephen Bastian with The Relationship Life. We're going to do part 2 on dating. I was going to do it as a supplemental video, but I decided last minute that I was going to do it as a whole show. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up Facebook on my laptop and see if I can see your comments and questions. It's going to be a lot easier to do it from there. But anyway, I'm going to do part 2, and I'm going to answer a couple questions that were brought to me, a couple comments that were made during the show. I'm going to address those, and we're going to look at a whole bunch of stuff. So, yesterday when I was doing my show, hang on 1 second, sorry about this. I'm going to give people time to show up anyway, so it's actually a good thing. When I was doing my show yesterday, Joe had commented that basically that text doesn't convey emotion. Text doesn't convey emotion, and it's just words. Okay. That's true, to a point. I'm not debating him. I'm not disagreeing with him, but I do want to make the point that you can tell, I can, and a lot of my friends can. Like, there'll be times I'll be texting my best friend, and she'll say, "Are you okay?" Because of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, she knows I'm out of sorts, that I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not giving her either 100% of my attention, I'm being short with her, my answers seem snarky, or I seem pissed off. You can tell emotion in text. So when you're texting somebody, especially when you're new to the dating game, or you're just starting to date that person, and you're just getting to know them, you got to kind of be careful how you word things, because they can read between the lines. They can understand what you're trying to convey. And if you convey neediness, or you convey desperation, or you convey that you're insecure, or you don't have a positive self-esteem, like I said last night, positive self-image, that it can affect your relationship in the long term if that person feels you're either hiding something, or, you know, you come off, like I said, needy and clingy. What we've lost is the art of the phone call. We've lost that. For some reason, Facebook's having a hard time booting up. So I may not be able to see. Let me see if anybody's here. I'll pull it up on my other computer. No, nobody's here yet. We've lost the ability to communicate because of text messaging effectively. We've lost the art of the phone call. Years ago, you know, when I was a teenager, when I was a young man, I'm still a young man, but when I was really much younger, we didn't have text messaging. You either got a phone call or you didn't talk to that person, or you saw them in person. And when I was really young, we were tied to the kitchen wall. Like, we had a phone. You really young people won't understand this at all, but there was a phone connected to the wall with a really long twisty cord, and that cord would twisty all the way around, and you could walk out 15, 20 feet from the phone. We don't have that anymore. We've lost that. And now it's all about texting. The way I look at it, even with my friends, I had said yesterday that I text with my friends because I'm not trying to impress them, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 text messages in a row. And I'm not afraid to do that. I don't worry about double texting at that point. It's good and bad. And it's bad because if I send my best friend or a friend or somebody that I like or somebody I'm in a relationship with. This isn't somebody you like. This is somebody you're already in some form of relationship with. And I'm going to do a future episode called Friends, Friends, Best Friends, and More. So we're going to talk about friendship too, but because friendship is a relationship of sorts. But, you know, when you text somebody along, either, like my best friend and I, we use voice text, okay? Let me hide her name. Let me hide her name. But you can see we use voice texts, a lot of them. You know, we voice text back and forth because we're talking about this and that and the other thing. Most of it about movies and stuff like that, film, because she's in my movie. So we're talking a lot about the film and where we're going with the film and direction and ideas and whatnot. She's an executive producer on my film as well. But if we can have that conversation in text, we can also make a phone call and probably have the conversation in half the time, because here's the problem. You send somebody a long string of texts, whether they're voice texts or whether they're paragraphs. I've seen people send paragraphs that take up the whole page. The point you made in the beginning is going to be lost by the time they get to the end. So when they reply, they're replying to one point out of all of that you made that stuck out to them in their heads. That you might have made a point about this or that, but then you made a little secondary point down here, but that's the one that person got attached to, you know what I'm saying? And they lose 80% of your conversation. Either they don't reply to it because it's not relevant, or they forget because by the time they got through getting through the volume of crap you sent them, they missed the meaning. They missed what you were trying to say. A lot of times with voice texting, where you're recording your voice and then you let go and you get the little blue bar, or whatever color it is on your phone. If you have multiple points made in that one text string, not saying 7 of them, I'm saying 1. If you make multiple points, you can only record for a minute. So in that 1 minute, you know, if you make a phone call, my point is, if you make a phone call, if you talk to each other on the phone, it's going to take a lot less time. If you have multiple strings of voice text, a lot of times I'll notice my best friend will message me back, and I know she hasn't listened to it because they're each a minute long, and there's at least 5 minutes worth of material for her to listen to. I'll see it drop down to the bottom, the little chat head thing will drop down to the bottom, and not even a half a minute will go by, and there'll be a voice text from her. Boom. And all she addressed was the first one I sent. The rest of it, she rarely ever looks at it. Either she doesn't listen to it, or there's just so much volume of information. When you're on the phone, it's in real time. So if I say blah, 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 she's going to interrupt me and go, oh, yeah, you're right, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to go, oh, yeah, you're right, blah, 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 blah. A conversation that is so much more efficient on the phone and in person, of course. We've lost that art, and we need to get that back. We need to be, if you can have text messaging, I really should be, I'm on my way, I'll be there at 7. What are you doing today? Are you busy today? Do you have time for a conversation? It should be innocuous. It should have no gravitas whatsoever, no meaning whatsoever. It should be just to relay basic information. If you want to go beyond that basic information, call me. And I'm going to start doing that with my friends. I'm going to say, look, unless you're just telling me, hey, I'm busy today, I won't have time to talk to you, or, what are you doing today, to find out if I'm too busy to talk, call me. Anything beyond that, call me. Because, number one, it wastes a lot less time, because, like I said, we could have that entire conversation that took 30 minutes on the phone in 10 or 15, And I know you're going to get texts from other people. It's going to be distractions. Some people may have kids and whatever. You don't have time to sit there on the phone for hours on end. And I'm not talking about sitting on the phone for hours on end. Now, there are friends that I will sit on the phone for hours on end. I love to talk, and I love to communicate. I also talked yesterday about chasing. That sometimes it feels good to be chased. Other times it's fun to chase. Depending on where your mindset is on that, depending on where you fall, you may fall either way. You may fall in both, like I do. I like to be chased. I like to chase, like I said yesterday. But sometimes it could be, like I said, a little too much. Take the fire ant, for example. I love fire ants. Now, I hate them. They're bastards. They will bite you, and they wait. They sit there and they crawl up your leg, and they all get into position, and then somebody toots a horn, and they're like, bam, and then they all get you at once. They suck. I hate fire ants, but I'm fascinated by them. I'm fascinated by the structure and the organization, because there almost has to be some form of intelligence there. You could have a lone fire ant sitting by himself on a twig, hanging out, looking for his next lunch, looking for something to go back and report to the hive. Hey, I found some lunch. There's a squirrel. He died. He fell out of the tree, the poor guy. But you know what? We're going to eat his ass. He's looking for that squirrel. They could just rip apart. He's sitting there by himself, hanging out, looking around, enjoying the sunshine, and your ass walks by. He sees you, and he jumps on you. Now he's crawling up your leg or crawling on your arm. You're headed in the opposite direction of the hive. Now, he's thinking to himself, oh, yeah, I got a big one. I can't wait to tell the rest of the guys. And then he looks over and goes, oh, shit, we're going the wrong way. And this guy walks fast. Holy crap. I'm like, for an ant's, this big. So 50 feet for him might as well be a mile and a half. You're like, oh, crap. That's going to take me all day to get back. So he's sitting on your arm and he's going, crap, we're going the wrong way. I love the fire ant because of the audacity, because they don't give up. That ant knows he's got no backup. Now, sometimes the ant will get lucky and his friends will be hanging out with him, and they'll all crawl up your leg, like I said, and they'll all attack at once, and they're thinking, we're going to take this bastard down. But other times, like I said, when you have the lone ant, he's got the same mentality. He doesn't care that he has no chance in hell of winning that fight. He's probably going to get smushed. I'm sure every lone ant that has bit somebody at some point has gotten smushed because they don't know when to give up. Once they clamp down, they ain't letting go. They are not letting go. And they know. He's like, screw it, I'm all in. He doesn't care. That ant don't give a damn. He's going to get his, no matter what. Even if it costs him his life, which 9 times out of 10, like I said, it usually does, because they're not smart enough to go, and then, oh crap, is that a thumb? Beep, I'm out. See ya. They don't do that. They stay in it. I don't give a damn. I'm getting this guy. I'm going to take him down. He's mine. And the audacity to think, I'm going for it. This guy's mine. Yeah, I'm just a little ant, but screw it. I'm in. They don't realize that. And then they get with their friends. Let's say the ant survives. Let's say you don't kill him, you flick him off. Okay? And he flies up, which is like diving out of an airplane without a parachute. But hey, they're ants. They survive, no problem. I wish we could do that. And he lands on his little log, and he's got the 300-mile trek back to the thing. It's 3 days later. He gets back, and he's like, man, where the hell were you guys? And then you happen to walk by again, because it's only been 15 minutes for you. So you're walking by again, and that's the guy. And they all jump on you. And they wait, they get in position, they're ready to go, and they all clamp down. And as they're biting each other, he looks over at his buddy, his brother, and he says, man, where were you earlier? Like, I had this guy, and you weren't even around. Like, you're not even invited to Thanksgiving anymore. You are not my friend, because you were not there for me. They're relentless. And unfortunately, in dating, sometimes we get a little relentless. We get a little too do or die. We're not going to give up, no matter what. And in doing that, we end up driving the other person away because they don't see that as intensity. They see that as needy. What we may look at is, I'm devoted to this person and I'm in it to win it, and I'm going to win this person's heart because I know I can make him or her happy. They don't see that. All they see is, this person's needy. This person's clingy. This person's up my ass and I can't get rid of them. And they eventually do. Which brings me to this point. What do you do when the date fails? I talked yesterday about the first date. Keep it casual. Keep it fun. Now, I'm going to get to that in a minute, too. But you're on the first date, and you're getting towards the end of the date, and you're realizing, mostly women realize this is not happening. Like, I don't see anything going anywhere with this guy. It's just not happening. What do you do? Remember back to my first episode. If you haven't watched episode 1, watch episode 1. I actually addressed that. You have to be direct. Because if you don't, that guy is probably thinking the date went well. He's probably sitting there going, this went well. She was laughing at my jokes. I was pretty cool. I had a couple drinks with her. Here's looking up your address. Everything was great. That's what he thinks. You're sitting there thinking, ain't no way in hell. This ain't happening. If you don't tell him that from gate, like at the end of the night, say, hey, look, I had a great time, but honestly, I'm going to be straight with you because I feel you deserve to know this ain't going anywhere. Like, if you want to be friends, that's fine, but this is absolutely not going anywhere. I'm sorry, but I'm just not interested. You have to be that direct. I know it sounds like it's a really shitty thing to do. It really does. But you're doing him a favor. And you're doing yourself a favor. Because that guy, like I said, he thinks the date went well. He's going to be asking you out again. He's going to be begging you. He's going to be clingy. He's going to be needy. You're going to throw him into a sense of insecurity because he's not going to understand why you're not returning his texts. And he's going to become insecure. And, oh, my God, why isn't she texting me? Why isn't she texting me? Well, come on. And he's going to be watching his phone. Come on, say something, say something. I see you're online. It says online now. Why aren't you looking at my text? Do you really want that guy to be up your ass like that? Because that happens. You could have the most, unless you're uber secure in yourself as a dude, and you know you got your shit together, and you know you got mad game, and you don't give a damn, or you're just in it for the ass, and you're like, screw it, I'm going on to the next girl. Unless you got mad game, 9 times out of 10, you've probably been in that situation where you're like, why isn't he texting me? Why isn't she texting me? What's going on? I don't understand. You got to be direct. Now, maybe I gave the impression, I want to touch on this, maybe I gave the impression last night that I was saying, when I was saying be chill, be casual, don't be specific, don't get into a lot of details about your past and who you are. Be casual. I might have given you the impression that what I meant was be boring. I don't mean be boring. That's not what I'm saying. At all. I'm saying be fun. In fact, what I said was treat that first date like you're out with one of your friends. You're just hanging out with a friend. Because when you're hanging out with your friends, there's no pressure. You're just hanging out with your friends. You're not pressured. You're not intimidated. You're not thinking, oh my God, I might get with this person. I might be with this person. You're not thinking that. You're just out with your friends. That's how it has to be on the first date. You need to show them your fun side. So absolutely, you need to be fun. You need to be adorable. You know, like I said, treat that person like it's a good friend and have fun, relax, chill. You don't have to get engaged on the first date. You don't have to lock that down on the first date. And it harkens back to my episode on destiny. If it's meant to be and you really believe in fate, then it doesn't matter what you do. So the pressure's off. You've got to have a positive self-image. Remember, you are your own worst enemy when it comes to dating. Most of us are in life in general. I'm my own worst enemy. I do more harm to myself than 50 people could do to me. I'm my own worst enemy. You don't want to be self-defeating. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot. Well, I don't have any viewers, unfortunately. I picked a bad time slot this time. I was going to do it at 12:30, but I got caught up in a phone call, an important one. And I wasn't able to be here at 12:30. I was figuring around lunchtime, most people would be able to, you know, be able to watch because they're having a sandwich and, you know, or even if you stay at home, you do you're a housewife or a house husband, you know, or you work from home. Most people grab a sandwich around 12:30. It'd be cool to put on sexy Steve Bastian and, watch the show. That was my plan. I'm going to try it again tomorrow at 12:30. I'm hoping that'll be a good time slot for you guys. But even if it's not, even if you're watching this in rerun, which is great, I have no problem with that. I love that. Watch it in rerun. Watch it over and over again. Show it to your friends. Please, for the love of God, share this. Let's get this out to the masses. I'm here to help. I'm here to give my advice, whether it's good or bad, whether you agree with it or not. Let's start a conversation. And by that, even if you're watching this in rerun, comment. I'll answer you in comments. I'll see the comment pop up and I'll go, oh, yeah, you're right. Or, oh, no, I disagree, or whatever. Let's start a conversation. Do that on all my videos. Don't worry about the fact that you didn't catch it live, so you're not going to comment. Please comment. Let's start a dialogue. Eventually, I'm going to switch this to YouTube, and I'll be on YouTube Live. I need to build a following so I can monetize. So please help me get a following. Help me get it over to YouTube, and I can start making money at this. And then it has value. Anything that has money has value. So when this thing has value, it'll become more important. It'll become better. Anyway, I'm Stephen Bastian. I hope I answered a few of your questions. I hope I clarified some things. I don't know what show I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm sure it's going to be fun. Until then, be good to each other. And just chill. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. I'll see you next time.